Hello, Canucks fans. It is day one of training camp. On-ice activities started today. We're going to be going through a quick recap of everything that happened. So we're just going to go over some of the tweets that came up from people that are actually there. Obviously, I'm not. So the first one we have up here is from Brendan Batchelor. It is the Group A lines. So you can see here, top line, the Lotto line. So it looks like they're keeping them together at least to start. Obviously, it's day one of training camp. Things are going to change. But you got Miller, Patterson, and Besser all together. And that second line looks to be sort of your de facto fourth line, at least to start camp. Tyler Mott, Brandon Sutter, Jake Virtanen. Virtanen, slightly a doghouse to start. But what we see from that, we see from Virtanen not being in the top six means that they're thinking of putting someone else on Horvat's line next to Tanner Pearson as well. We'll get into that with Group B when we get there. Gadgets, Gravac, Lockwood. So that's sort of your second set of guys in case of injury. And then Erickson and Beagle as your main extras. So hopefully people who don't play a lot this year. On the D side, Edler and Schmidt as a pairing, that's kind of interesting. So that would be sort of your de facto number two pairing. And then Rathbone and Ben, you would think of as your 7-8 most likely. Obviously that entire bottom side of the defense is completely up in the air. And Hamonic isn't at camp yet, so he won't be there till like the 11th or maybe the 10th. So obviously that'll change the defense. Sautner and Brisebois, and then Nolan Baumgartner with Jet Wu. So that's our sort of Group A lines. If we go to our next tweet here, it was from Chris Faber, who was also there. He was tweeting out a lot of videos, so go follow him. This video we'll just sort of have going up on screen here. It's the first day of camp. Basically, we just have Jake with Patterson on a lot of drills, so that sort of lets you know that they're thinking about, let's say, this new winger like Höglander doesn't work out with Horvat and Pearson. Maybe you have to bump Besser down to Horvat's line, and then you put Virtanen on the top line. So giving some practice with them together. Faber also had a tweet at about 10:09 a.m. saying that Rathbone looks on another level compared to similarly aged prospects Wu and Lockwood. And then Gadjevich also looks pretty fresh so far. His stride looks a little different from we saw in Utica last season. So it's kind of his thing for Gadjevich was that he was big and manly, but he couldn't skate very well. So it looks like he's been working on that. Hopefully that works out. But seeing that Rathbone is looking really good is a really good sign. This is a funny tweet from Harmon Dial here. We're moving close to normalcy because Louis Erickson had the net wide open on a rebound with the foot of the net and completely flubbed on it. So, Louis. And then another tweet from Drance here. Someone asked if Patterson was leading the bag skate like he did last year, and apparently it was Schmidt. So Nate Schmidt looking good. All right, our next thing here is a video. This is just a snippet from the interview with Patterson and Virtanen. Apparently Ben Kuzma was asking about their fitness and asked Patterson about his weight. And just take a look.
Was adding any kind of weight or muscle an important thing this summer, or did you add any? And what did you actually need to work on this summer, Elias?
I thought we were past that point, to be honest. I agree. I mean, okay, my weight is 176, if that's your question.
Yeah, so Patterson obviously not stoked on that question. I love Jake's reaction as well, saying, I agree. So I thought that was pretty funny. Then we get into Group B. So Group A, we went over. Group B is our second set here. And there you go, top line on this group, Tanner Pearson, Bo Horvat, Niels Höglander. So that's their idea of what they're hoping that second line would be. And if Höglander pans out, that's a really good second line. Berchi up with McAllis and Justin Bailey. So pretty much nothing there, just guys competing for spots. Roussel, Gaudette, McEwen. So an idea of sort of a grindy, tough third line. You have Roussel and McEwen grinding in the corners, Gaudette, Selly, and Hard, the dream. And then Jace Howerluck, who was initially brought in to be like the 13th forward, but he could be like the 16th forward by the end of this, or he could be like the 12th forward. Could really go either way. And then Ulevi was with Myers today. Hughes with his Chatfield, Tevez and Brogan Rafferty, and then Elliott. And the only ones that really matter here, so seeing Ulevi with Myers, again, they're just giving Ulevi a chance. Hopefully he can put something together with that. And then Hughes with Chatfield. Again, Hughes is obviously going to make the team, so they're just putting on the Chatfield to see how Chatfield is. Nothing too interesting in this group other than Horvat, Höglander, and Pearson together, which will hopefully be the de facto second line. Next tweet's just from David Quadrelli. All he says, Höglander looked very, very good at literally everything he's done today. And then Thomas Drance tweeted out that the Horvat group was with Hughes and Chatfield, and Höglander was that bag skate group. And apparently Höglander was leading that group, and all of them roasted their first go through the 40-second bag skate. So again, you'll love to see that. All right, so that's it for our day one of training camp recap. Obviously pretty short and sweet. Hopefully throughout the week we get some more meaty info. Obviously the interesting things are the lines. That's what matters. We'll see how this team does. We're 9 days away from the NHL season. Be sure to stay here with me, hit subscribe, watch some of my other videos, follow me on Twitter, hit like, do all that good stuff. We're gonna have post-game recaps after every game all season. Any Canucks news I will have coming up on my channel here as well. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.